Hi, good morning. It is 9 o'clock on April 16th, and it has snowed here, and it's lovely. We always need it, and I know it's not abnormal for it to snow in April here, but somehow it's always a surprise when it happens. Let's take a deep breath. Feel those lungs all the way in. A little bit more, a little bit more. Then let out slowly. This isn't necessarily a meditation video. I can collectively feel my own and everyone's need to breathe. I suppose I need to add an addendum to the message that has been predominant in all these videos, which is everyone needs to sit down, shut up, and listen. And we're going to add breathe to that. I've been thinking a lot about what seems to be my takeaway from the culmination of the work that I've been doing that I think is actually, I just thought of this. Something that's very true for me is I'm a person who likes to try and take all the information that I'm receiving and narrow it down to its most essential, um, to its essentials. So then I can hand it back in I'm going to say digestible modality. Make things succinct. Shuck out all the unnecessary. Shuck out the unnecessary words, excessive usage of words. Which is why I think Spirit gave me sit down, shut up, and listen and breathe. Another, we'll call it the triad of truth, just came to me. I'm sure I've discussed this in another video. I can't recall. We need to love ourselves. And for some reason, that's not a thing. That statement is not what's being said. It's a lot of the other words. Oh, I know we've discussed my feelings about the word deserve, but, deserve, believe you are worthy, believe you deserve. Um, while, yes, true, to me, the foundation of that is love yourself. Love yourself every second, love yourself every day, love yourself every decision. Do things out of love for yourself. And I'm reading Louise Hay right now, which I'm kind of surprised I haven't read her before. I've studied that kind of work before. I I'm completely down with the idea that how we think And what we tell ourselves manifests physically. And that's not the sole basis of her work. That's the, I don't think. Um, I'm reading You Can Heal Your Life. And I just can't help but think it can't not be true, right? That the way we think, the way we treat ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we hold on to things, our resentments, our anger, the fact that we don't even acknowledge our anger. It's not okay to be angry. It's okay to be angry. There are things to be angry about. I'm not saying run out and hurt other people as a result of your anger. I'm saying deal with it, acknowledge it, say it. This isn't what I was going to talk about today. But I guess this is what I'm going to talk about today, a little bit. So in the Triad of Truth, as a current working title, is love yourself, deal with your shit. Oh no, the order is love yourself, connect with yourself, deal with your shit. Love yourself, connect with yourself, heal yourself. We teach our children at the child care that I still work at a little bit, immediately to not let people get in their space if they don't want it, or young children or want to be, they hit, they bite, they don't have any coordination for a long while, so they could be going in for a hug and it becomes a wrestle or a tackle. I'm not exactly talking about that. I'm talking about when kids, because they're not using their words, use aggression. And we teach them from a really young age to tell them to stop. Don't tell me about it. I mean, yes, I want to know about it, but I can't fix it for you. You have to tell them to stop. You have to we teach them to start setting boundaries really early and recognizing I don't like that behavior. I need you to stop. Eventually we get to also, walk away from it. Don't play with them if that's how they're going to do it and you don't like it. Give it some space. And these are all really good lessons for us also. Honestly, we need to be doing it all the time. Because if we were doing it all the time, then we wouldn't have to do it all the time, right? Because it would get got. The message would be sent. But we have to start somewhere. And I recognize this is ancestral work too. Boundary setting. If it hasn't been taught, it hasn't been taught, it hasn't been taught, it hasn't been taught. But we know now, don't we? I'm telling you. I'm working on, and I'm teaching, and I'm learning that just because anything doesn't mean you get to unleash your nonsense on me. Just because you don't have any manners or you don't have any training or your upbringing went a certain way and you're unwilling to work on your shit, that you get to bulldoze me or scapegoat me or gaslight me for any reason. And I don't care who you are. That's a hard thing to come to. But honestly, it's harder living with the idea that we have to be nice and act a certain way because certain people are in a certain position of authority or family or whatever. And honestly, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. And we have to break through. So I encourage you to love yourself enough to work on your shit. And I encourage you to practice talking with yourself. And I know that that's not for everybody. All I can say for me is it's always been great. But as I actively, consciously work. And by work, I mean go deeper, accept, acknowledge, say to spirit, I want a deeper relationship with you. I want your guidance. I am receptive to your guidance. I'm receptive to conversations. I'm receptive to information. I'm receptive to inspired action. If I could just encourage you to give it a try, just to say hi. Hi to yourself. And see what you hear. Hear what you hear. And I recognize, having come from a very Christian upbringing, I recognize how that sounds. My concern is how that sounds. And this isn't coming from a Christian place. It's coming from a not Christian place. Or maybe it's 100% just coming from a place that, while rooted in truth, has been completely bastardized. I think is probably more accurate. We fucked up. Across the board, the entire time that we've been here. This race, this species, this thing called humanity has been a colossal fucking nightmare. And we have to get out of it. And since we're the ones who are causing it, by not changing our minds and not changing our trajectory and not changing our thought processes and not going deep, it's the only solution I can offer, and it's the only one that makes sense to me. I'm open to what people have to say about it. Which actually does lead me to something I realized last night. When I started these videos, I didn't let people comment because I was afraid of the comments. And then I moved it to I see the comment first, and then I can gauge whether or not to publish it. And now I have comments open all the time, and I get no comments. None. And I think it's because perhaps I put out there too strongly my fear of shitty comments. So now I get no comment. Not no, but not much. And one of the comments I got, gosh, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. It was one of the first videos that I did. A very kind individual wrote to me about it, that what I was doing fell under a particular modality of psychology, and there was a name for it. And gosh, if I didn't know that the messages were going to disappear. The setting I have it on makes them disappear. I don't have that information anymore, and I want that information so much. So if you are that person who sent me that information and you're still listening, please send it to me again. I really am sad that I lost that. What I was actually going to start with today was it was about language. It's about how our language changes. And so, for instance, what I was thinking about was passion. And we use the word passion. I'm really passionate about this. Really passionate about cooking. I was remembering when I started culinary school, one of the chefs said that they don't really trust when somebody says they're really passionate about cooking because passion fades. And I think that's true. What I think is interesting is if you look up, at least on the Internet Dictionary, passion is simply a strong feeling or emotion. Obsession is the constant state of thinking about something. So I think we're using those words incorrectly right now, or they're morphing, however you want to look at it. Because I think you can be passionate about a meal but not obsessed, right? You can be, excuse me, I'm obsessed with drag. I think about it constantly. I don't know if you know this about me. I am a staunch ally for LGBTQ, and I love drag. And you could see my my drag shrine. I'm obsessed. I think about it constantly. One could also say I'm passionate about it, but the passion shifts. Like I'm all about Trixie and Katya, as is evidenced by my stuff. But I'm not only about Trixie and Katya. I enjoy learning about other queens, and I enjoy learning about LGBTQ history, and um, so then does that make it a hobby? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure where I was going with that, but I do think it's interesting how language morphs. And it's a good thing it does, because otherwise we'd still be talking like however we talked when we first started talking, right? And we're not there anymore. So with that, we're not there anymore, but we're also not where we were 10 years ago. We're also not where we were 5 years ago. So as our language morphs, as should our thought processes and our ability to expand and accept and be aware. And I was explaining to a friend the other day how we're fluid, right? We have information, we learn, we become this person, and then things fall away because we don't need them anymore, or we shuck them, and then and we're just kind of in this constant state of this. And that's fine, that's great. That's how it, I think, when it's healthy, when we're allowing our thoughts and our feelings and our world to continue flowing. It's very natural and healthy and fluid. And then I think when we get real stuck, hard and fast, trying to protect ourselves, whatever the reason is that we get shielded, that causes stagnation, and that causes blocks, and that causes illness, that causes disease. Because we're not allowing, oh, I'm angry. We'll stay angry. Oh, I can't think of any other thing. I am so deeply concerned about getting lipstick on my teeth. Because I just don't wear it that much. This is Trixie Mattel. Pleather Daddy lip gloss. So my... So yeah, that's what I want for everyone. I want everyone to just loosen up, lighten up, get fluid, manage your obsessions. If it's too obsessive, if we're bordering into unhealthy, deal with it. And allow the passion, allow yourself to like things. and love things and want things and grow and step away from shit that doesn't work, that doesn't serve you. I know they say that all the time, and are we like, what does that mean? It means, oh, I have another visual for the nonsense of social conditioning. It occurred to me last night. Because I know you know, if you know me, you know I am all about shucking that. So here's another visual for you. Here, I'm going to take these off. So let's say somebody says to you, this is life. It fits in here, and it's only this big, and you can only see it if you put your eye up here, but you got to close your other eye too, and then that's it. That's life. That's what you have to work with. Now, I don't know if you can tell, I have a little hole in the bottom of my palm, and I can see a little bit of light. What happens if I let that crack, and I realize that this is just a tiny, tiny shell of a tiny, tiny amount of information that tells me what life can be. But if I let that open and break, and you can see literally everything else. Like, can you just imagine if you pulled your head out and you suddenly could see the vastness that is available to all of us? The ocean of information that is constantly present, of awareness and creativity and joy and abundance of all things that just simply exist. It already exists. That's what I want for everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much. Take a deep breath. Love yourself. Connect with yourself. Heal yourself. You are loved. Have a great day.